Welcome to Mission Past, where we look at archaeology and history behind video games while simultaneously trying to complete a mission. Today it's Assassin's Creed Origins, our mission to earn an audience with possibly the most famous woman in history, Cleopatra. Let's go. Welcome to Egypt in the year 48 BC. This is Bayek, a magi, a protector of the people of Egypt, a bit like a sheriff. And as this is an Assassin's Creed game, where else would we be? We're perched magnificently on top of the Great Pyramid, Khufu's pyramid at Giza. Now this game is so packed full of archaeology and history, I mean look at it all, I was a bit overwhelmed about what I could focus on in this video, so I thought I'd talk about the setting of the game in 48 BC, during the last dynasty of ancient Egypt and where that fits in with the rest of Egyptian history, because I don't think the game makes that particularly clear, and it's a useful background to explain a lot of the stuff that's featured in the game. In the meantime, we're on a journey to meet, hopefully, the last pharaoh of Egypt, Cleopatra, and to do that, we've got to meet a bloke over there near Alexandria, near where the yellow market is. So first things first, let's get off this pyramid. There's no leap of faith off this. We're going to drop down a few layers, slowly, and then slide down the pyramid. Health and safety warning, don't try this in real life. If you don't die, you'll be arrested. Now here's one fact to keep in mind throughout this video, and you may have heard something similar before. Cleopatra was born closer in time to the invention of the smartphone that you may well be watching this video on, to the construction of the pyramid we're sliding down. That's how vast a period ancient Egyptian history spans. And we'll get into that in just a minute, but first we've got to get off this pyramid. Bayek, do you have to grab onto every single ledge as we go down? Just let go. Right, thank you. The first part of the mission, as you can see at the top left, is to speak to Apollodorus. He was a real historical person at the lighthouse in Canopus. So, gonna just called my horse. Let's jump on. Now, as I was saying, ancient Egyptian history, the time when the pharaohs were in charge, is massive. It stretches from roughly 3100 BC until 30 BC, and this is broken down into 32 dynasties of various lengths. The dynasties are divided into larger eras, some of which you might know, like the Old, Middle and New Kingdoms. In between these are the intermediate periods, periods of political instability, where no one pharaoh is clearly in charge, and there's also the early and late periods. The pyramid we were just on dates to the 4th dynasty during the Old Kingdom, also known as the Age of the Pyramids, because that's when almost all of them were built. The period when this game is set is the 32nd and final dynasty, when the Greeks are in charge, over 2,500 years later, and therefore closer in date to your smartphone. And a very long time removed from the Pyramid Age. As you can see, the pyramids behind me are looking a bit rough and run down. They're pretty old by this point, and Egypt is almost a different world from that of the pyramid builders. The 32nd dynasty, the Greek period, is also known as the Ptolemaic dynasty because it was mainly ruled by people called Ptolemy, and 48 BC was a time of great political intrigue and upheaval. So it's very clever of Ubisoft to set origins right at the end of ancient Egyptian history, because they get all the old gear, the wonderful monuments, and they also get the interesting political upheaval that Bayek here is getting involved in. Right, we're off to see Apollodorus. Man, this game sure is pretty. It really is beautiful. Sunset next to the pyramids. In this game, Bayek is a magi, a protector of the pharaoh and the Egyptian people. Historically, they were first mentioned during the Old Kingdom. By the time of the New Kingdom, they had become a paramilitary police force, which I think is a pretty good fit for Bayek, but by the time this game is set, they had died out. Although the game does say he is the last magi, so perhaps they've just been underground, and he's the last one. We're leaving the desert now. I think this is probably the best visualization of ancient Egypt I've ever seen. It's just extraordinary visuals they've created for this game. Really immerses you into everyday ancient Egyptian life. And if you haven't seen it, it's definitely worth checking out the Discovery Tour mode, a different game mode with no combat in, with guided tours around the places and monuments in the game. And kudos to Ubisoft for putting it in as a free update. It's a good educational tool. We're entering Canopus, so we're going to ride through the town and get to the lighthouse. It's nice just to ride round rather than fast travelling. The world is so detailed. Evening, lads. Hi there.
Idiot, what are you playing at?
Who's he calling an idiot? Anyway, final bit of background to bring us up to date. The reason why Egypt is being ruled by the Greeks at this moment is because of Alexander the Great, who conquered Egypt in 332 BC. When he died, his companion Ptolemy took over Egypt, founding the Ptolemaic dynasty as Ptolemy I. Now, wind forward the clock about 300 odd years, and we're dealing with Ptolemy XIII and his older sister, who is Cleopatra. They originally co-ruled as brother and sister, but Ptolemy has just ousted Cleopatra from the throne, starting a civil war. So we're bang up to date with the history as we approach the lighthouse, and hopefully Apollodorus, who's on Cleopatra's side, will be able to help us. Apollodorus the Sicilian, to give him his full title. Not a huge amount is known about him, other than he was a very loyal follower of Cleopatra. Here he is.
Apollodorus.
You there! Are you here to kill me or to be my friend?
Friend. Bayek of Siwa.
Ah, then your help, please.
You may have heard the story that Cleopatra was smuggled into the palace at Alexandria to see Caesar in a rug, something that happens later in this game. Well, Apollodorus is the man that made this happen. He carried the rug, apparently.
They took him prisoner.
And the scroll? What of the scroll?
Damascus had it.
That Damascus should have destroyed it. Cleopatra owes you much. Can you get to a healer by yourself?
He'll be fine. Probably.
I've killed Eudorus.
Huh? Well done.
He was the snake, yes?
Man to man, Bayek, there is much you have yet to understand.
Man to man, I need an answer.
I must take the measure of you first. Rescue Damascus and recover the scroll. And then I will know if you're the man that Aya claims you to be.
Alright then, to gain an audience with Cleopatra, we need to rescue a man called Damascus and recover the scroll that he's got.
Where is this Damascus?
He should be on the docks in Canopus Harbor. I can't risk that someone reads the scroll he carries.
Alright then, let's go. I think that's my horse, is it? Let's just call it. Yes, that is my horse. Alright then, let's get Domestos. Yes, Domestos. We've got to rescue a bottle of bleach from the harbour over there. Anyway, so Domestos is at the harbour just to our left on those boats. So what I'm going to do is call my helpful eagle, Senu, which acts as almost like a drone to spy out. In fact, look, she's already found him. He's in that cage right there in the middle of the dock and is surrounded by quite a few enemy soldiers. And because I've tagged those enemies, they'll stay tagged now, hopefully allowing us to approach more stealthily. I'm not quite sure how Senu relates what she's seen to Bayek. They must have some kind of special understanding between them. Right, I'm going to dive into the water, approach underwater up to the boat, climb up the boat, and hopefully take out a few of the guards at least without the rest of them seeing me. I don't want to get overwhelmed by all of them at the same time. Let's dive so we can approach stealthily. Again, the water graphics even in this game are just very, very pretty. Ah, there's a boat coming in. I've got this fellow in my sights here. He's mine.
Guards here are vigilant.
How's he saying that underwater? Right, gonna climb up the side of the boat and drag this fella in. That killed him, apparently. Maybe he can't swim. Also, I like the way that this guy on the small boat here is not fussed by what's going on. Oh, that'll be a guy climbing on and killing all the soldiers then. Fair enough. Carry on. Now, I've been spotted slightly here, or a few of them are suspicious. That's that white reticle that's appeared. So I'm going to try and... yeah, this guy down here is looking for me on the right. So I'm going to slowly creep past him and hopefully take out the other fella near the cage. And then go back for the first guy. So let's jump on him.
Wait a minute.
Right, now we've got to take this fella out. Easy does it, and we've got a few more guys. 3, I think, guys. Right, just gonna spam that guy. Just spam him, and I'm gonna switch to my... I've got a bow here that shoots multiple arrows at once, and you can see it's a bit like a shotgun, and this fella's set himself on fire, and has died from it. Okay, and this guy's stuck. Oh dear. Can't fight and swim at the same time. I think he's stuck to sorry, old boy, to put you out of your misery. Right, okay. The cage is free. Let's get Damascus out of here.
I have to sleep in my own filth in here.
Right, come on, pal, let's go. Keep your head down.
Thank you. It was very unpleasant in there.
No worries, keep your head down.
Kill them all. Bastards, they deserve to die.
Keep your head down. We're trying to escape
to a safe
from
place, then
military
we will talk.
custody. You just... Oh. He's just going to run off by himself. Alright, well, I'm going to take a slightly longer route because I don't want to get into another unnecessary fight. Evening. Nothing to see here.
Die.
Oh, he's getting attacked by 4 guys, so let's give him a hand. Oof. The fighting system, I think, is better on this entry in the Assassin's Creed franchise. I think it's better than the previous games. Apparently it's a lot like Dark Souls, although I haven't actually played that. Ally health low. Oh, crikey, don't die. That will fail the mission. Right, we've got him. They've been put to the sword. Let's get Damascus. Let's get Domestos out of here. He's got toilets to clean. He's a busy man. Okay, we'll just follow him to safety then. Is there anyone else to... Are we safe now? I think we are.
I was going to kill all of them. That damn cage was too hard to get out of, is all.
Yeah, right.
Apollodorus sent me to help you. Give me the scroll.
Scroll? I do not have any scroll.
Your job was to carry it.
I hid it on our ship. I did not want it to fall into the wrong hands.
Where is the ship?
At the bottom of the lake. They sank it.
Very
Right,
well.
so we've got to recover
We'll
the
get
scroll
it.
from the bottom of a lake.
Apollodorus is waiting for you at the lighthouse.
This Cleopatra mush
Tell
better
him
be
to
worth
find
it.
you near the sunken ship.
Okay, thanks. Bye. We need a boat. There's one. There's a soldier there. Will he give us any grief? We'll hop on. No, he doesn't seem to care. That's good. Right, we're off to the middle of this lake then to pick up this scroll. Now, Cleopatra, at this point, has just been booted off the throne by her younger brother, Ptolemy XIII, of course. They had originally co-ruled after the death of her father, and to seal the deal, it's thought that Cleopatra and her brother married. We're just going to call Senu here to get the location of this scroll. Okay, it's down there somewhere, so we'll hop off and get it. So they had married. That was a custom within the Ptolemaic dynasty, borrowed from the earlier Egyptian pharaohs. It was primarily a way to consolidate power, to keep power within a smaller group. That being said, Cleopatra was pretty inbred. I've looked at the Ptolemaic family tree, and honestly, it's a mess. It's very confusing. Let's get the scroll out of this box. But basically, to sum it up, where most people have 16 great-grandparents,
precious.
Cleopatra only had 6.
Neck.
So, need I say more? Now, what's this? We've got a trireme has just gone scooped over the top of us here. Are they looking for me? I'm not sure what's going on. Anyway, okay. Well, let's take these guys out then. I don't know. Where's my boat gone? They run over my boat. Okay. Let's scoot up here unseen. This guy's got terrible peripheral vision. Right. Have a drink. Up we go. Now. Get me bow out, I think. Shotgun bow. Yes. Have some of that. Oh, crikey. This guy's got a heavy weapon. Right, run away. Let's just keep... whoa. Let's just keep going round. God, these guys aren't too bright, are they? Oh, yeah. Keep out of the way of that, guys. Sit down. Oh, blimey. Right, one guy left. Block that. Oh, that was a heavy strike, so it got through. Ow. Blimey. Ah. There we go. Slightly gratuitous, Bayek, but he got the job done. Ah, there's a boat there. Let's go for it. No, that was slightly ambitious. Can I pilot this boat? Can I sail this back to land? We've got to get back to shore to meet Apollodorus and give him the scroll back, but... Ah, there's a boat. It's got some soldiers on it. Let's take them out. Ah, no, let's switch bow here. Hang on. This is the hunting bow. Let's use that. Ah, forget it. Right, just Wait a second there, lads. I'm coming to get you. Okay. Let's get them. Oh, I can't get up there. Hang on. I just have to go around the other side of the boat. That's it. Great. Thank you. Oh, block. Take that. Block. And that. There we go. Thanks for the boat, chaps. Don't mind if I do. Let's swing this around, and I think Apollodorus is waiting for us on the riverbank just over there. So let's get over to him. 48 BC. Now, Cleopatra was 21 years old in 48 BC, and at the beginning of the year, she left for Syria, which was controlled by the Romans, to raise a force to take on her brother. And really, by the time this game is set right now, she was on campaign against her brother coming back from Syria in Egypt. So she shouldn't even really be here. Does this boat have a brake? Oh. Classy. Stay classy, Bayek. Nice parking.
Here's your precious papyrus.
Well done, Bayek.
Thank you.
I see you are a capable man. Someone I may be able to trust. The scroll was meant for the Roman general Pompey in an effort to sway Rome to Cleopatra's side. She will be grateful to you for keeping the communication secret. She is at my estate. We're headed there now.
Right, so we're off to Apollodorus' villa to meet Cleopatra. The Romans became heavily involved in the Egyptian civil war. Pompey the Great, who Apollodorus just said the scroll is for, and Julius Caesar were having a civil war of their own in Rome, and both became involved in Egyptian politics too. The story in the game features them heavily, and basically, as Rome was an emerging superpower, whichever side won the Roman civil war and whichever side they sided with in the Egyptian civil war would win, something that Cleopatra understood very well. So there's a multi-sided civil war going on with external powers involved, and Cleopatra very shrewdly navigated this point in history. Eventually siding and having a child with Caesar turned out to be a good choice, as Caesar won the Roman civil war, and she eventually became the sole Pharaoh of Egypt. But we're getting ahead of ourselves slightly. We've got to meet her first.
Too young and pliable to be a strong leader. We believe Eudorus was the force behind Ptolemy, responsible for so many of Egypt's current ills.
And how this fits into the game is, as Apollodorus is saying here, the people that killed Bayek's son, and that's why Bayek is on a revenge mission in this game, that's who he's after, they're siding with Ptolemy. They're the real power behind Ptolemy, using him as a puppet. And historically, Ptolemy did have people behind him pulling the strings, people like the statesman Pothinus. Anyway, what's going on here? I've just smashed through a fence, and Apollodorus has dismounted out of nowhere. Nice villa, nice digs, Apollodorus. Right, I think I've got to go over to him, and then, yes, now we'll head inside.
Extraordinary woman, your wife.
I know.
Bayek, before I can disclose all secrets, Cleopatra must meet and approve of you. She can
So Apollodorus is just giving us a little pep talk.
some advice. When you approach the queen, bend your knee in deference.
Cleopatra the 7th, to give her full title. She was the 7th Cleopatra, but she's so famous she's known as just Cleopatra. As I said before, she's 21 years old when this mission is set. She's a very shrewd politician, and according to Plutarch, she spoke at least 9 languages, and she was the only member of the Ptolemaic dynasty to speak Egyptian. All the other Ptolemies and Cleopatras spoke Greek. She was the only one to bother learning Egyptian, so let's head inside and see her. Oh, we're running inside. We're so excited, we're running inside.
Ready?
Ready?
I cannot wait.
Depending on when you're watching this video, I will make, or I have made, a more in-depth review of how Cleopatra appears in Assassin's Creed Origins, and how that relates to the actual history. And you can see that by following the link in the description or clicking the link on the video.
Bees? Where is my opium pipe?
Cleopatra here very much portrayed as the cliched, promiscuous, femme fatale.
I will sleep with anyone as long as they agree to be executed in the morning.
But that's basically propaganda pushed by Augustus, the first Roman emperor, after he had a war with Cleopatra and Mark Antony. So he pushed that narrative to discredit both of them. But there she is speaking Egyptian. At least I think it's Egyptian.
It is a generous offer, but I've already pledged my life to this woman.
Aya, you have chosen well. Come, we have much to discuss. Celebrate, my friends!
Cheers, Cleopatra.
You were meant to kneel.
And the way that she looks here is, I think, very heavily influenced by Liz Taylor's version of Cleopatra from the film in the 1960s. But it's thought she may well have had less gracile features, a larger nose, prominent chin, curly hair. She may even have been a redhead. So she probably looked completely different to what we see here.
Meet Aya and Bayek. They put an early end to Ubisoft.
This is Pasherenptah. He was a real Egyptian high priest in Memphis at this time.
We do not know what your efforts are.
Eudorus was a member of the Order of Ancients. They are responsible for my exile. They tore me from my throne.
And why should I care about them?
Well, the snake has many heads. Those heads make up the Order.
And this is how the real-world history ties in with the game's story.
What are they talking about?
I don't know. They must know something.
The Order of Ancients.
You join up with Cleopatra to fight against the Order of the Ancients, which are responsible for killing Bayek's son. They're the power behind Ptolemy XIII, and in the game, they are the precursor of the Templar Order that you meet in later games.
We have informants in each region. But they have been unable to touch the Order.
Across Egypt, mysterious forces work against us. For instance, here, in the Nile Delta.
They're outlining the assassination targets that you have to kill later in the game.
And human force moves with them. That force is one of the Order of Ancients, called the Scarab.
And over here, in most sacred Giza.
And Cleopatra has just mentioned Giza, and it was on top of that pyramid that we started this video, built by one of the first pharaohs, and here we are with the last pharaoh.
You are my Magi now. Protector of the true Pharaoh of Egypt.
There we go, so after all of that, we get a nice new sew-on badge. He can put that on his sleeveless denim jacket, along with his Motorhead and Metallica badges. So there we go, I've slightly edited that last video down because I wanted to talk a bit more about the history than the story in the game, because if you get to play the game, you'll be well enamoured with the story. So there we are, that was Cleopatra. That was 3,000 years of Egyptian history in 22 minutes. Sort of. And that is quest complete, so it's mission accomplished. So there we go, that was Assassin's Creed Origins, the best visualization of ancient Egypt I think I've ever seen. So let me know what you thought of the game and the history we covered. Check out the Cleopatra video if you're interested. If you like what you saw, consider subscribing for more, and I'll see you in the next video.